Pain makes people angry. They demand change through their rage. And maybe we all thought the only way to get change was to demand it, to protest and riot in the streets, to burn it down to nothing. But where has all the fighting gotten us? War after war, and we keep fighting. So what if I told you that words possess a power that can never be killed? Ideas will outlive any human being. What if I told you the revolution is a conversation? Welcome to our first episode of The Revolution is a Conversation. I'm your host, Jaleesa, and for today's episode, I thought we'd talk about some reflections on COVID-19 or coronavirus. I just thought what better topic to discuss since it's so relevant right now, this collective trauma, something we're all going through together, even though our realities may be something entirely different from one another. So I wanted to start off by saying that this is a great opportunity to really slow down and really take a good look in the mirror and recognize that right now you can't see anybody other than your immediate family. There's no impressing anybody else. So the question is, do you impress yourself? Are you happy with who you see in the mirror? And also taking a step back from that idea of I just want everything to go back to normal, and asking yourself what is normal, what is so worth running back to. I think everyone is in a hurry to run back to an old version of themselves, when really we could use this opportunity to really reinvent ourselves and ask ourselves some really important questions. I mean, did you like your job? Did it bring you value, or was it just a paycheck? Did you like school? Are you enjoying the material? Is it something you really want to go back to, or do you want to dedicate yourself to something different? And I also want to take this moment to acknowledge all of the anxiety that seems to be in the air. And I kind of feel like that has to do a lot with this false productivity mindset that we've all been programmed with. I think it's something that really comes with the Western way of living, the way it's always go, 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 on to the next thing, the faster the better. And I think we all could benefit from just slowing down, from just really taking this time to savor our cup of coffee in the morning and just take it slow and really taste our life. I think a lot of the fear around slowing down also comes because if we slow down, then we have to look at ourselves, then we have to feel what we feel, and we have to acknowledge our emotions and everything that we're hiding, that we don't want to show on the surface, the conversations we don't want to have, the people that we're avoiding. You kind of have to face all of that when you slow down, and that can be really hard. But I also just want to acknowledge that no matter how hard, it's such a crucial part to the healing process. And I also want to invite everybody listening to this right now to acknowledge that we are not victims to circumstance, and I almost feel like this is not happening to us, it's happening for us. I also see a lot of people on social media who seem to be kind of turning on each other and blaming each other for the duration of the Stay-at-Home Act and for the duration of the virus. And I think if we just go ahead and take a look at the root of the problem of how the spread of this virus actually began, it's because of our disalignment with Mother Nature, and there's some responsibility there for each and every one of us. So with that, I just want to invite you to go ahead and take a look at the ways that you could live your life more in alignment with Mother Nature and your personal choices and how you're affecting Mother Nature, and just acknowledging the ways that you can change and the ways that you can contribute to making sure that something like this doesn't happen again. Because at the rates that we're cutting down the forests, the ways that we're mistreating animals, that is all going to just lead to another pandemic. This will not be the last. But that is definitely a whole nother conversation that we can save for a later time. Just to kind of start wrapping up this episode, I also feel like this pandemic is just going to bring so much positive change. And I just kind of want to ask you guys, like, what does the new normal look like? What do you think the new normal looks like for us as a collective? And what does your new normal look like? I recently read that some colleges will be waiving the ACT and SAT scores as part of a requirement for applicants in the fall. And I feel like that sounds so promising, because maybe this could be the end of standardized testing. And if it is, how do we replace it? I'm also wondering if this could be the end of the 40-hour work week, and maybe human beings will start to acknowledge that more free time is so valuable. And I don't know, maybe we could see a shift into a 4-day work week with the same pay as 40 hours. And I just think that these are just a couple of examples of changes that could come from this pandemic. And I'm also very interested to hear your ideas and the ways that you think the world will change. So it's obviously a little rough to have a conversation when it's just you by yourself. But I do want to hear what you guys have to say. If you have any comments to make on any of the subjects I covered or any of the questions that I asked, please leave me a voicemail. The number is 775-525-1193. Just give me a quick intro, who you are, where you're from, and I will attach that voice memo to my next episode. I also just want to very quickly send my condolences to anybody who has been negatively impacted by coronavirus or COVID-19, and to anybody who has lost a loved one. My heart is with you. Thank you guys so much for listening to my very first episode. I appreciate your support so much, and I really do want to encourage you guys to leave me a voicemail. 775-525-1193. Whether it's to continue the conversation or to just leave me some comments on how to make this podcast better. And if you'd like to support me and this podcast, please visit my Patreon page. Patreon.com/therevolutionIsAconversation. I'll talk to you guys soon.